Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. Have you ever walked away from a conversation thinking, I should have said it better? Or, why didn't I speak up? Have you ever felt your voice get stuck somewhere between your heart and your throat? You had the thoughts, you had the feelings, but somehow the words didn't land. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone, and this message is for you. Because let me tell you the truth, your voice has power. Your words carry weight. But too often, that power goes untapped, and that weight goes unnoticed. Not because you're not smart enough, not because you're not capable, but because you haven't yet learned how to express yourself the way you were meant to. And that's what today is all about. This is not about public speaking. This is not about sounding perfect. This is about becoming articulate, learning how to speak clearly, confidently, and intentionally in any situation, whether it's a one-on-one conversation, a meeting at work, a first date, or a moment where you need to stand up for yourself. Your ability to communicate can either open doors or shut them. It can either lift you higher or hold you back. Now here's the good news. Being articulate is not a gift only a few lucky people are born with. It's a skill. And like any skill, it can be learned, refined, and mastered by anyone, including you. Being articulate isn't about using big words or memorizing speeches. It's about learning to speak with purpose. It's about organizing your thoughts, calming your nerves, and speaking from a place of strength and presence. When you master that, your words no longer just fill space, they shift the room. So why does this matter? Because in a world full of noise, clarity is rare. In a world full of distractions, presence is powerful. And in a world full of surface-level conversation, true connection is a gift. Your ability to speak well isn't just about getting ahead, it's about being heard, being understood, and being remembered. Think about the leaders you admire, the people who inspire you, the voices that have moved you. What do they all have in common? It's not that they're the loudest, it's that they speak with purpose. Their words have rhythm, weight, and direction. And guess what? You can have that too. So today we're going to explore what it really takes to become articulate, not in theory but in practice. We're going to break it down piece by piece, starting with the mindset, then the skills, and finally the consistent action that turns potential into power. If you've ever felt overlooked, if you've ever felt like your ideas were misunderstood, or if you simply want to speak with more impact, this is your moment. Get ready to unlock the power of your voice. Because your words matter, and it's time the world hears them loud, clear, and with confidence. The foundation of articulate speech. Being articulate is not about having a fancy vocabulary or sounding like a dictionary. It's about being able to express your thoughts clearly, confidently, and with impact. It's about knowing what you want to say and delivering it in a way that commands attention and earns respect. You don't have to be born with this ability. You can develop it, you can learn it, and the best part, anyone can become more articulate, no matter where they're starting from. But it starts with a decision to improve. A decision to speak with intention instead of impulse. Let's be honest, many people struggle to find the right words in the right moment. They get anxious, their thoughts race ahead of their mouths, they stumble, ramble, or shut down completely. And afterward they replay the moment in their heads, thinking, why didn't I say that better? But here's the truth, that frustration is not failure, it's feedback. And that feedback is pointing you toward growth. If you want to become more articulate, the first step is to slow down, speak with calm. Rushing through your words only creates confusion, for you and for the person listening. When you speak too fast, you give your brain no time to think, and you give your listener no time to process. But when you slow down, everything changes. Your thoughts settle, your words land, your message hits harder. Silence isn't your enemy, it's your secret weapon. Use it. Next, focus on clarity over complexity. You don't need to sound smart, you need to be understood. That's the real power. Being articulate means you choose your words with care. You get to the point. You communicate the message without fluff, without filler. Some of the most influential people in the world have spoken with simple, direct language. Why? Because people don't remember long-winded speeches. They remember strong, clear messages that stick. Also, practice makes progress. Start talking out loud more often, read books out loud, record yourself explaining ideas, talk to yourself in the mirror. These might seem like small things, but they build real confidence. When you hear yourself speak, you start noticing your habits, your tone, your pace, your filler words, your body language. You become more conscious of how your words sound and how they feel. That self-awareness is where the change begins. Becoming articulate isn't about perfection, it's about connection. It's about using your voice as a tool, a gift, and a bridge between you and the world. Your words matter. How you use them matters even more. So if you've ever felt unheard, if you've ever felt like your words don't land the way you want them to, this is your wake-up call. You can change that. You can become someone who speaks with clarity, confidence, and power. And it all starts with choosing to grow, building the skills of articulated communication. Now that you've committed to growing and understand the importance of clarity and calm, it's time to focus on developing the real, tangible skills that make someone articulate. This isn't just about sounding good. It's about being understood, respected, and remembered. The first skill you need to master is listening. That might surprise you, but it's true. Great communicators are great listeners. They don't just wait to talk, they actually hear what's being said. They pay attention to the words, the tone, the body language. Why? Because listening helps you respond, not just react. When you fully listen, your reply becomes thoughtful, relevant, and powerful. And that makes your words land with more impact. The second skill is thinking before speaking. Sounds simple, right? But many people skip this. They speak on impulse. They try to fill every silence. But real articulateness comes from thinking it through. Before you speak, ask yourself, what am I trying to say? What's the core message? What's the goal of my words right now? That few seconds of reflection can transform your communication from scattered to sharp. The third skill is expanding your vocabulary naturally. You don't need to memorize complicated words just to sound smart, but the more words you know, the more options you have to express yourself. Start reading more books, articles, essays that challenge your thinking, not just social media scrolls, but real content that teaches you new ways to say things. When you come across a powerful word, don't just skip over it, learn it, practice it, make it part of your own toolkit. Next comes structure. Learn how to organize your thoughts before you speak. Don't just start talking without direction. Try breaking your message into 3 simple parts: the point, the reason, and the impact. For example, I believe we should do this. Point, because it saves time and resources. Reason, and it will help the whole team stay focused. Impact, that's articulated. That's how leaders talk. You don't need to ramble when your words have structure. Also, eliminate filler words like like, These words break the flow of your speech and make you sound uncertain. We all use them sometimes, especially when nervous, but being aware of them is the first step to removing them. Replace those pauses with silence. A calm pause is more powerful than a cluttered sentence. And don't forget about body language. Your tone, posture, eye contact, and facial expressions all play a huge role in how your words are received. Articulate people use their whole presence to support what they say. If your body says, "I'm unsure," your words lose their power. But when you speak with presence, when your posture is upright, your voice steady, and your eyes focused, people listen differently. Becoming more articulate is a journey. It's not about being perfect, it's about being intentional. Every conversation is a chance to improve. Every sentence you speak is a step forward. Keep practicing, keep refining, and trust your voice is getting stronger. Practice patience and the power of presence. Now, let's talk about the real game changer, the daily commitment to practicing your articulation. Because no matter how much you know, how well you structure your sentences, or how rich your vocabulary becomes, none of it will truly transform you if you don't put it into consistent practice. Let me be honest with you, becoming articulate is not something that happens overnight. It takes time, intentional effort, and most importantly, patience with yourself. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna fumble your words. You'll forget what you wanted to say mid-sentence. That's part of the process. But here's the key. You don't stop. You keep showing up, you keep learning, and you keep improving. Start small. Practice expressing your thoughts out loud when you're alone. Talk through your ideas in the mirror. Record yourself speaking on your phone. Listen back, not to criticize, but to observe. Notice your tone, your clarity, your confidence. Over time, you start catching areas where you can grow. That awareness alone is progress. Take advantage of everyday conversations. Whether it's a talk with a friend, a work meeting, or even a casual interaction with a stranger, each one is a training ground. Use those moments to slow down, speak with intention, and apply what you've been working on. Real growth comes from real-life repetition. Another powerful tool, reading out loud. Choose a passage from a book or article and read it aloud slowly and clearly. This trains your brain to form and deliver words smoothly. It sharpens your pronunciation, improves pacing, and builds vocal confidence. The more you read aloud, the more natural it becomes to speak clearly in your own word. Also, don't underestimate the importance of your mindset. If you walk into conversations doubting your voice, second-guessing your worth, or shrinking yourself because you think others are better speakers, you'll never unlock your full potential. Confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about believing that your voice deserves to be heard. And the more you practice, the more that belief will grow. Let's not forget the power of presence. Being articulate isn't just about the words you use. It's also about how present you are when you speak. When you're locked in, focused, grounded, connected, people feel it, they respond to it. Your presence amplifies your message. So before you speak, take a breath, center yourself, be here fully, because when you are present, your message becomes powerful. So if you're wondering how to become more articulate, here it is. Stay committed. Keep showing up for yourself. Practice with intention, be patient with your growth, and never forget, the world needs your voice. Not a perfect one, but an authentic one. A voice that speaks with clarity, purpose, and confidence. You don't have to be the loudest. You don't have to be the most educated. You just have to be real, prepared, and willing to grow. That's how you become more articulate. And that's how you begin to command any room with your words, your presence, and your power. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the truth you need to take with you. Being articulate is not a destination, it's a journey. It's not a trait you either have or don't. It's a skill you build layer by layer, word by word, moment by moment. And every time you choose to show up with clarity, every time you speak with purpose, and every time you embrace the discomfort of growth, you are getting better. You are getting stronger. You are becoming someone who commands the room, not with noise, but with meaning. This isn't about perfection. It's not about saying every word flawlessly or avoiding every pause. It's about owning your voice. It's about knowing that your thoughts deserve space, that your ideas matter, and that your words can make a difference. Because they can, and they will, when you choose to use them with intention. Remember this, the most powerful voices in history weren't perfect. They didn't always have polished speeches or perfect grammar. What they had was conviction, they had clarity, they spoke from their truth, and that's what gave their words weight. You don't need to be the loudest in the room, you just need to speak with alignment. When your mind, your heart, and your voice are in sync, people listen. They feel you, and that kind of presence, it's unforgettable. So take the pressure off. Don't try to impress, aim to connect. Don't chase complexity, choose clarity. Speak with confidence, not arrogance. Speak with calm, not chaos. And when you don't have the right words, don't panic. Pause, breathe. Reconnect with your message. The silence isn't a mistake, it's a moment to reset. Use it. As you continue on this journey to become more articulate, remember the 3 pillars we explored. Mindset, believe in your voice. Know that it matters. Skill set, build your tools. Listen deeply, think clearly, speak intentionally. Consistency, practice. Every single day, in every single conversation. You stumble, you get frustrated, you doubt yourself sometimes. That's normal, but keep going anyway, keep growing, because every time you use your voice with courage, you're not just communicating, you're transforming. And maybe, just maybe, one day someone will hear you speak and say, wow, that moved me. Not because you were the loudest, but because you were real. Because your words didn't just echo, they landed, they mattered. So don't hold back, Don't stay silent when your voice could change the game. Let this be your moment. Speak with purpose, speak with power, speak like someone who finally understands. Your words are not just words, they are your legacy. Let the world hear you, loud, clear, unapologetically. You